This is my like, Bart Simpson, don't touch my peanut butter, Butterfinger thing. Oh my god, that is amazeballs. Oh my god, that's like a 92 on the nose for me. Holy crap!
It's like,
Yo.
All right, so today we're going into bourbon. Today we have the Elijah Craig 12 year, 94 proof, 47% ABV, bottled in 2016, I believe. So 12 year. All right. What do we know about this bottle? What makes it so special? Looks kind of cool.
This one, it's part of the lineup they call the Pirate series. So,
Pirate series.
So this is, Pirate series in the sense of this is how it used to be bottled, the older bottling style. And this is actually the second to last one that had the Pirate bottling. And the last one to actually have 12 years on it. So on this one, it says 12 years on the back. On the following small batch, it doesn't have an age statement. So they weaned it out because it used to have it on the front right there.
But this is also not to be misconstrued as a precursor to barrel proof, because this is proof down, right?
Correct.
Okay. All right. Well, let's go ahead and go into the nose. Wow, that nose is amazeballs.
Yes.
What the heck? What the heck? Oh my god. This is my like, Bart Simpson, don't touch my peanut butter, Butterfinger thing. Oh my god. That is amazeballs. Oh my god, that's like a 92 on the nose for me. Holy crap.
It's a gorgeous nose.
It's amazing.
Wow.
Yeah, we were both blown away by it when Anthony shared it with me and Derek. I think a month or so ago, maybe two.
Yeah,
something like that.
Oof.
Yeah.
I dearly hope that nose translates to the palate.
Yeah. When it opens up, it does. This is a fresh crack, so it might be a little more tannic right now.
All right, let's go in.
Oh.
Okay, for this one here, it does follow the nose, but I do wish that the proof level was at 50.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the Elijah Craig, the ECBPs have been great, but they're just so caustic. They're really just super high proof.
Yeah.
I think if this is at like the low 50s, this would really sing. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's a great daily drinker if you have a stash of it.
Yes.
The nose is great. The palate. I wish that peanut butter kind of butteriness really came out more.
You can definitely tell it's older than the newer
Yeah.
stuff.
It has that like dusty bourbon characteristic about it. It doesn't overdo anything in particular. It doesn't overdo the oak. It doesn't overdo the slight pepperiness. It doesn't overdo the corn yeastiness as well. Well, not yeast, but that corn note.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's beautifully balanced at the very end with this like rich velvety vanilla to really coat everything all together.
Oh, it is such an amazing nose. Like that.
It is. The nose is amazing. But okay, like even though the nose is amazeball, it's like it still matters that if the palate can follow it.
I mean, remember this was a core release.
Oh man, that's a
So
core release.
that used to be Elijah Craig.
Yeah.
Used to be.
Okay, palate. What would you give it then?
How would I give it an 88? A solid 88.
I was actually right in that ballpark as well. Yeah.
I would give the palate an 87, but with the nose being so great, I think overall it would give it an 88 for me. Oh man, the nose is just delightful. And it's not singy at all,
Yeah.
But it's very, very refined, very smooth, very, very approachable. You get everything that you're looking for in a nice, sophisticated bourbon, but it doesn't overproof and blow your palate out, nor does it feel too watered down.
What do you think about how people are taking the ECBPs now? I mean, like you can find like the newest one, the C924, quite readily at MSRP versus like last year, the C923. Like people were like, it's like that was on secondary, like an $80 bottles on secondary. Like what the heck?
I think modern day Elijah Craig, at the time of recording, is a completely different animal than older Elijah Craig. But that's kind of just a common thing that you see throughout the bourbon market, where a lot of the older stuff definitely has different characteristics than the modern day stuff. It's just two completely different animals.
My thinking with this one as well is the integration is infinitely better than the barrel proofs nowadays, because nowadays it's just so harsh and it presents a lot of notes, but there are very few, and then it doesn't go anything further with it.
Yeah, I feel like back then they try to get a little bit of nuance for everything, but nowadays, I mean, to use a gaming term, they're min-maxing, where like they're trying to pick out these specific things and they're trying to like turn those up to 100 and kind of dial everything else back, just so you can really get like these few particular like notes and
Okay,
and
so
characteristics.
question for you: is it more valuable to say straight out of the bottle, I don't gotta do jack shit, and it's a great experience, or like I'm gonna give you barrel proof, you figure out your own proof level that you like, you know? And that's kind of what they're telling you, you know?
Yeah.
That is interesting. I just think that, you know, maybe it's because of the crowd that we hang with here in the Bay Area, but like people like those options. People like to, you know, customize and, you know, experiment to their own liking, just like how you would in like a video game or, you know, in some form of tech, where, you know, you like to play around with certain settings. Versus back then, I feel people really wanted something that was set in stone, that was like refined, you know, beforehand, that they could just enjoy and really experience on their own or with friends.
So then, what's the next iteration of the bourbon culture? You can buy your own cask that can age for 2 weeks and be getting a completely new experience. That Elijah Craig C924, dump it in a cask, a rum cask, and get some new flavor out of it. Is that the next iteration?
Well, barrel finishing is starting to take off in the bourbon.
Like a little
atmosphere, I
mini
feel.
barrel, you know?
No. Just like before, right? You had bourbons that were just like first filled, they would age it, and then like, you know, they would dump it. But now I feel like with you know, just more people getting into bourbon, or just like the popularity of bourbon growing in general, and the market expanding, I feel like a lot of people are trying to experiment with like, you know, new approaches, and one of them is, you know, finishing it off in, you know, brandy casks like XO, or like, you know, PX casks or wine casks or stuff like that. I feel like that's going to be the next thing.
Right now, the current thing is oak staves, because it's very economical. You just drop a few in, and you know, a few weeks later, boom, you got yourself a different product.
Right.
But I think, in terms of a general thing, I don't think that's a good approach. In terms of whiskey making, I feel like they need to have a more finished product. In general, across the board, it's not just bourbon.
I feel like this is the difference between this and modern day. We'll just stick with Elijah Craig. We won't touch into any other desserts, but just modern day Elijah Craig. This is like, and it has clear intention. It is refined itself in that process to get to that end goal. Versus the barrel proofs nowadays that people are hyped for, it's more like, okay, we have this, you can experiment with it. It has a lot of like wiggle room. You can do whatever you want. And yeah,
I think I'm over that. I think I'm over that. All right, this was a small little quick review on the Elijah Craig 12-year 2016. Are you feeling nostalgic about it already? You're never gonna see it again.
No,
Never gonna see it again.
I own 5 bottles.
All right, well, there you have it. Just hoard.
Just hoard it, hoard it, and drink it all.
Hoard it and enjoy it.
Yes.
We'll see you next time.